What gets measured gets done. Rheticus in the 1500s is given as the source for this quote. In this video, it's on retail business intelligence, and it's by the Wizard of Pause. The iVURM Interactive Virtual Unified Retail Model is a stable, closed-loop model. The piece that provides the feedback and closes the loop is the business intelligence. When one identifies the strategy the company will follow, they identify what KPIs are appropriate for measuring and monitoring success of the strategy. This is an overview of the business intelligence process. It starts with a bunch of raw data. The data gets extracted and transformed into a common language, then loaded into a data warehouse. It's managed and measured against a set of master data. From there, they build a data cube when they want to look at particular pieces of information. Then a bunch of KPIs are used to help measure what is critical for this particular process. And finally, reports are generated to show the effect and outcome of this analysis. This is an overview of some of the critical components of the ETL transformation process for data integration. Of course, it starts with a database. You load it with a set of schemas so that you can map the data to a set of standard message models. You bring in the organization to help adjust the ETL data. You add encryption so that the data is secure. Information about people's personal information can't be leaked out. You run scheduling so you can periodically start this process on some scheduled basis. You allow access to the metadata about this or the master data about this. You then have the information coming in from a whole lot of different sources where it gets transformed into a common format using the schemas that we've identified earlier. And they use the artificial intelligence component to identify new information that isn't currently there and see if you can figure out where it belongs in this whole process. So the next step is the data warehouse. This is where we take the ETL data that we just transformed and use it to populate the data warehouse. We also match this against the set of master data that we have. Security is another key component of this, making sure we keep this data safe. We have the web to access control of this and manage the data warehouse. We do performance monitoring, make sure we've got the data warehouse properly optimized. We don't have duplicate information and things of that nature. We can deal with concurrency, so we could actually populate multiple data warehouses simultaneously, particularly in today's web-based world. We can do load balancing between the two to help share what's coming in from a variety of different places. And of course, we want to be able to monitor everything that's going on and get alerts when it notices things that are not correct. And we want to be able to do various reports against the data warehouse itself. So now we have all this information in the data warehouse. We want to be able to extract what we need to answer particular questions. And that's done with OLAP cubes for online analytical processing. The information out of the data warehouse is extracted out to answer a particular question and populate the OLAP cube. There are three different kinds. The first one is a multidimensional online analytical processing, or MOLAP. The second one is a ROLAP for relational online analytical processing. And the third one is a HOLAP for a hybrid online analytical processing cube. In addition, multiple cubes can be brought together to help answer even more complicated questions quickly. So now we want to look at the dimensions for using against the KPIs, or key performance indicators. It all starts with the massive amount of information embedded in the data warehouse. It's mapped against the master data, or information that basically doesn't change across the enterprise. They go to populate the OLAP cube so they can analyze the data quickly to answer particular kinds of questions. We then have a set of KPIs, or key performance indicators, that we run against the OLAP. For example, there are the sales KPIs. There are transaction KPIs. There are items, so you can find out how many items you sold, or how many people bought beans and also bought toilet paper. You can look at your customers and see what they're buying. You can look at refunds, and refunds are a key problem in the online processing world. We can look at voids. We can look for loss prevention. We can manage the financials. We can analyze how well we're doing financially. We can also look at store operations and see what hours people are working or what hours the stores are open and how the sales are doing by those hours. Now, this is just a subset. In the iVURM model, there's over 150 different kinds of KPIs. There are so many KPIs in the iVURM KPI inventory that they're actually broken down into these 22 different groups. And of course, it's all about the reports. And in the Business Intelligence RFP, here's a listing of some of the groups of reports that they've identified, starting with a set of reports on order management, a whole lot of different ones on merchandise management, various ones on different sales analysis, operational kinds of information, and even analyzing your vendors. Thank you. I am the Wizard of Pod. My name is Richard Halter. Please check out my book, Art for Retail, Using Technology to Turn Your Consumers into Customers and Make a Profit. It's available on Kindle. Thank you.